So the topic of the day is basically navigating the transition for entering work after a career break for women. So the image that you see, and it's so I'll tell you how I created this image. So I went to AI and I just gave a prompt saying that create an image of a woman who's multitasking and a career woman multitasking. And this is the image it just gave me. And this is what work life of a career woman looks like. She has got, I mean, if possible, she'll have like 10,000 hands, but then she is managing work, she's managing family, she's being a spouse, she's being a mother, a daughter-in-law, a career woman in office presenting and everything, and she's managing. And you can see, she's traditional in wearing a sari, she's wearing a jacket because she's working, she's having a laptop, she's having a baby, a mobile, a bag. And that's how women are today getting, they are moving into this role where they are able to do multitasking, they're able to do multiple things. And believe me when I say that it's very few, I mean, among male and female, I feel, it's females who can really play this, multitasking kind of a role to a very, very, very smoothly. And when you're moving into this, transitioning into this career, into a career work, there is going to be a lot of challenges, there are going to be a lot of problems, but as you move in, there is going to be a lot of uh, plus points and successes and rewarding experiences that will really make the entire journey worthwhile. So I'm just going to take you through some of the key points which are going to help you in this transition. I'm hoping that at the end of the session you'll be able to take back at least 2-3 things which will resonate back with you, and you will remember it as you're moving back into your work. So just something about me. Now, before I even start with it, I hope everyone have your phone. I just have put in a very small this thing. Why do you want to return to work? I just want you all to just scan the code or open slido.com and just put in this code 3926301. Just scan the code, and I want you all to basically tell me what is the first word that comes to your mind when you say, why do you want to return to work? It could be because money, just one word, okay? Money, you're bored, you want to you want to just you want to do something, you want to do something different, you want to have a voice of your own, you want to you're done with all your priorities and you have time to spare, you want to do, it could be any reason. You had health issues and you're moving back and you just want to start working, you had taken a break because of studying, you want to start working. What is it one reason which is motivating you to return to work? And don't think too much about it. Just type the first thing that you want to do. Lovely. I can see independence, I can see traveling. It's an amazing thing to do. I think independence is something that is just the first word that comes to your mind. Just type whatever comes in your mind. And I'm telling you, the first word that comes in your mind is the gut feel and the reason why you all are trying to get into work and why you all want to start your work. I can see independence is one of the main things that's coming out strongly. Identity, I like the fact, the confidence, yes, and absolutely. Any word, just scan the code, just type the word that you keeping occupied, being financially motivated. Financial independence is one of the critical things that most women face, and they do really want to get into it. Lovely. I can see getting an identity, that's absolutely essential. You miss out getting an identity of your own when you have family, children, health, this, that, you just miss being yourself. This is very nice. Please keep giving your freedom. That's very good. Recognition, and that's one of the key things. You end up doing a lot of things, and you don't get recognized for the type of work you do. And being a housewife and being working at home is the most unrecognized work that you normally do. So recognition, motivation, absolutely. Please, any more, and last 2 minutes, please. Do send in any words that you feel like. To create my own network of people, that's absolutely good. When you have your family, you just then you lose out your network of friends who have actually moved on to multiple things. So that building that network and and happiness, and that's one of the very it's very difficult for people to recognize that you can be happy and you should be happy about. And that's again another personal fulfillment. Absolutely, you need to be personal. I think financial independence and being independent, identity, freedom, motivation, I think yes. Thank you so much for the responses. And you can see that each one of you who are here, you're all resonating the same set of words. Being independent, having a network, being happy, being motivated, being recognized for what you are. being a role model for my children. See, all of these are all things that, basically building your own identity. Thank you so much for the poll. I'm just going back to the presentation, and that's the crux, and why we are, and doing this presentation. So why do women take a career break? And this is the very high level reasons. One is family responsibility. You have children, you have had a baby, and you have to take a break. You have some elderly parents at your home, and you need to take care of them. There are some lots of challenging times that you're going through, because of which you have to take a break. There are people who take a break because you're getting married, and you have to move to some other place, and there's a whole adjustment that happens in your life. You need to do that. Personal development, there are people who take a break because they want to do their masters, or they want to do some other education, or they want to volunteer, and they're furthering their education is one of the reasons why people take a break. And one of the lesser amount of reasons could be the health reasons. But there are people who take a break because they're not allowed to work because they're pregnant. Okay, there are some illness issues, injury issues. So whatever be the case, there are multiple reasons why a woman has to take a career break. But whatever be the reason, the important thing is that you want to return back to work. And why do you want to return back to work is the same. This, you want to gain new skills, you want to learn something, and you want to do something different. And you have been doing a lot of things. You've learned a lot of skills in the 2 or 3 years that you've taken a break, or 5 years that you've taken a break. But then there are a set of new skills that you want to learn. You want to expand a network and form a friends and a group of friends who are professional friends, who are into a different world, and you want to be a part of that world. You want to explore new opportunities, new worlds. You want to travel. Increasing your earning potential is absolutely one of the, I think, the key things for most of the people, is that you want to become an independent, financially independent, whether to support yourself, or to support your family, or to support your own parents. There are multiple reasons why you want to increase your earning potential. And most important is becoming independent, having your a voice of your own. The fact that your thoughts are important, and the fact that you are important, that is one of the critical things that helps you once you return back to work. So is it easy for you all to go back to work? No, absolutely not. It's very difficult. So it's difficult for even men to go back to work, but it's even more difficult for women when they go back to work. So what are the challenges that you're going to face when you go back? One is the gender stereotypes. Okay, so IT is one of the fields where I work in. The gender stereotypes is very less. It's quite minimized, and there are hardly any parity between females and males. But then there are other industries where there is some amount of gender stereotypes present. There are multiple areas which are male dominated. But I can tell you something, that this is the this few set of years is the perfect time for women to enter industry and companies, because right now most of the companies, I would say, are they are promoting women in their boards. They're promoting women to move into higher roles. They're promoting women like anything. So this is an absolutely wonderful time for women to go back to work, because most of the companies want to maintain the diversity ratios. So it's a very good time to go into, because you will be welcome back. And the male domination is reducing to an extent. Most of the jobs today are, there's no gender stereotypes. The gender stereotypes are reducing to a large extent. So everything is open to you. The world is open to you. That's how, what you should believe in. Okay, I want to just quote an example of Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. I'm sure most of you all would have heard it. So she wanted to do a brewery business. And brewery business is something normally and very, very traditionally done by men. Okay, when she started off, and this is, believe me, this is in 1978, where you could never have heard of a woman doing a brewery business, but she started that. So it is possible. So no matter what be the gender of the, whatever be the domination which is there in that particular industry, it is possible. If you have the will and you really want to do it, you can do it. So nothing stops you. So that's one of the examples that I wanted to quote about Kiran Shaw. The other things that you're going to have is social norms and family pressures. People who are coming back, especially you have a baby at home and you're going to want to go back to work. You're going to have this pressures that how can you leave your baby behind? Your baby needs a mother. This is the age where the baby needs a mother, and you're leaving your baby behind. How will the child grow? Your child is going to fail in your studies, and that's because you're working. Once you start working, you'll have those things, because you're focusing your life on work. That's why your child is going this, child is doing that. Believe me, all of these things happen. And what we need to remember is that whatever be for the child, it's a duty of the both mother and the father. It's not just the duty of the mother. And that is something that you need to remember. As long as the mother and father together come together and build that, so that family, build those value system, nothing is wrong. So you need to build a career, because the moment you start building a career and you reach a position and you're sitting in a position, believe me, the children look up to you. My own mother, she's been working her life, and I respect her for it, because I've learned to be independent because my mother is working, because I've seen her working and I've seen her in different positions going and building a career, and that's what is built in me, because I know that I can build a career. I have that confidence in me that I can build a career because I've seen my mom do it. And that's very important when you're, when your children are looking at you, that are you're able to, go and build a career, build a niche for yourself in the society that you live in, and that's what is going to be respected. And even your children, your family, everyone are going to respect you for that particular thing. And I want to give an example of Mary Kom for this. Mary Kom, everyone knows, she's a boxing champion, and was it easy for her to be a boxing champion? No, absolutely not. She reached the top of championships, and at that time she had to take a break. Why did she take a break? Because she had to get married, she had children. And did she stop? No, she had a wonderful husband who encouraged her to go back into boxing. She had a whole set, her children welcomed her and encouraged her that please go back to boxing. And she has won multiple championships post having children. And it's not just working. It's, you need to be really physically fit after having children. She did it. So it's possible. It's possible for each one of you to, achieve great heights, great strengths, just because you need to build that positivity in you, and that's going to take you next. Now, what are some of the points that you need to remember when you're going next? So I'm going to give you two sets of points. One is from professional world and one is from a personal world. So what is the things that you need to remember when you go first and when you're moving into a career? Professionally, there are just 5 things that you need to remember is reskilling and upskilling. I'm going to go through one by one, but reskilling and upskilling is one of them. The second one is preparing for an interview is very, very critical, especially because you're going after a break. So you need to be prepared for an interview. Personal branding is essential. Please ensure that you have a personal brand of your own, and I'll tell you how to do that. Networking is absolutely essential, and understanding your company policies, the company that you're going to join into, understanding the policies is also very essential. So I'll just go into one by one. Just let me know if I'm really going fast or slow. And Gaganji, this is okay, or should I slow down a little bit?
No, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. I think,
Okay.
Once we take the questions, I think that is where we
Sure.
can understand.
Okay, so the first stage is basically preparing for your job search. Okay, the first and the most important set is see the industry is moving very fast. Being in the technology industry, I know that yes, last year we were talking about a technology called metaverse. This year we are talking about a technology called AI. Third, next year you're going to be talking about another technology. Technologies keep changing, and with the technology, a lot of things keep changing. Everything, every job and everything which is associated with that particular technology keeps changing. So when the technology, every industry changes. So it's very important for you all to be updated with the latest skill set. And today, with it's a good effect of COVID, I would say, is that there are a lot of online courses available. Lot of online courses. You go and you search for any online course, do a 6 months course, do a 3 months course. There are 3 weeks course. There are rapid 45 days courses. There are multiple courses available. What you need to understand is that you need not become a master of a particular skill set, but you need to know the skill set. You need to know that if you're going to technology industry today, if you're moving into a technology industry, you need to know what is artificial intelligence, and you need to understand what is the impact of it. If you're going into a particular another industry, you need to know what is the latest technology over there. If you want to take up a marketing role, for example, you need to know how you do digital marketing and what are the latest tools available in the market for doing digital marketing. So, and that's the basic that any employer is asking for. They know that you've taken a break. They know you're out of the industry. You need not know everything that's happening over there, but you need to know at least the basic of what's happening. And that is possible by doing very short, very quick online courses. Please do it. It will help you immensely when you're going into your interview stage. It will just give you that sort of a confidence that you need. The next thing that you need to do is build a lovely resume and a cover letter. A resume is basically has to be well written. The language, the content, the long are gone the days where you make 5-6 pages resume. A 2-pager resume is more than enough. Just be concise. Do mention that you have taken a break. See, there's nothing wrong in mentioning that you've taken a break. There are multiple reasons why take. And believe me, the people who are interviewing you, whether it's a male or a female or anybody who's taking an interview for you, understand that they also have a wife who would have may possibly taken a break. They also have wife who have children, so they've seen that. If it's a female, who she's also gone through this entire, so everyone in this interview panel would have gone through whatever you will have gone through. Okay, so they will understand. So being honest is very, very important in an interview cycle. But also what is important is that, yes, I know I've taken a break, but I have updated myself in these 1 2 3 skills, and I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to, and I mean, I can ensure you that my learning cycle is going to be less, because I will pick up whatever is necessary. That confidence, if you can give to your interviewer, that's what is going to help you, win the game. So you need to ensure that you have a well-written resume with all the facts given. Give numbers, give facts. Okay, don't make it a descriptive resume. Add a cover letter as to why you want to. That cover letter has to be very customized to the job you're applying, and it has to be customized to say that why I want to join your company. What is it that is attracting me to your company? And that's what is going to sell you. So, and there are multiple AI tools available on the net, to create a resume. So you don't even have to write it from scratch. You can go on the net, use an AI, and just create a good resume, good design resume. So multiple tools available. So do use that sort of things and to create your resume. The next important thing is networking. When you take a career break, your friends have moved on to another role, they have moved in professionally, so the network breaks, and if you have a baby, at least for me it was happened that once the baby came to my life, the entire world just disappears. It's just your baby, and the world becomes very wholesome. And then when you're stepping into the work, and suddenly everything is, the baby is not the center of the world, there are a lot of things around you, and that's very important. So networking with your friends, networking with other professionals, networking with other people who are in the industry is very important, because then they know that, okay, you are interested in working, you want to get in, and that helps you. And such long lasting relationships, and I'm telling you, having relationships in any industry is very important, because it helps you get jobs faster. It helps you, that when they recommend that, you are really a really good professional, and you're really good, and that helps you a lot in getting a good job. So build a strong network, connect with all your friends, even though you've not spoken to them for 2 3 years. That's okay. You can just go and reach them out on LinkedIn, any social media. You can reach them out, and do leverage your network. The next one is the interview process. Please prepare for interview. It's not just that tomorrow's interview, you just go and do the interview. Learn at least 10 common interview questions, and prepare some good answers. The first question any interviewer is normally going to ask you is, tell me about yourself. There are two ways of doing it. I can say that my name is Divya Cinto. I am a marketing person, and I have 5 years of experience. Or I can also say that I'm Divya Cinto. I have worked in so and so company. These are my 2 3 skills that I'm very good at. PowerPoint or creativity or designing is one of the specialty that I excel in. Recently, because I took a career break, I did learn some 4 5 skills, and this is what I'm updated with. I'm ready to learn more. I'm very interested in doing this. This is what I know about your company. Now what happens is that you are pulling the interviewer in engaging with you, and telling you, saying that this is how I want to, I know what I want to do. I may not know what is the career that I'm going to build in, but I know that I want to work in your company. I want to work in an interesting role, and you should give me a chance. But so the more words you put in, the more explain what sort of thing, the more the interviewer is able to speak to you, can connect with you, and he'll be able to connect. But let's prepare a set of questions. What are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what 5 sets lines about you, create why do you want to work in the company, learn 5 6 lines about the company. So these are few of the things that you need to learn when you're going for the interview process. The other aspect is most important, even after that interview, is the post interview. Now what happens is, as I've seen, and I've conducted multiple interviews, and I've seen that salary negotiation is something that most women fail. There are women who do fantastic salary negotiation, but females usually fail in salary negotiation because they feel the interviewer says that, okay, this is what I can offer you, and you'll just sit back saying, okay, this is what the company can offer you. Please negotiate your salary. You should know, say, that you should know that at your level, if there is another friend of yours who is, you are 5 years experience, and there's another lady who is, who you took a career break for 2 years, and there's a 7 year experienced person, and she is getting say 10 lakhs, and you are being offered 5 lakhs, but you know that you are capable of getting a 7 lakhs, please negotiate for the 7 lakhs. It's important. And why you need to negotiate for your salary? Because you need to understand that the interviewer comes to know that you are confident about yourself. The fact that you're not negotiating your salary, or the fact that you're not saying, you're just agreeing to whatever is the salary, it just means that you're not confident about it. But it doesn't mean that you need to say that, no, I'm not happy with the salary. You need to negotiate, you need to find out. And there are multiple factors of what you negotiate with the salary, including, whether it's working from home, whether what the travel expenses, whether it's the time that's going to be taken. So multiple factors that go into your salary negotiation. Understand what's the components of a salary. You can just do Google, understand what the components of salary, HRA, this, there are multiple components that are coming. There's a bouquet of benefits that you get in your salary. So understand what are the different components of your salary and negotiate your salary and get the best possible. Because what happens is, once you get that, that's going to be your base for your next increments. Okay. So if you don't get into a good salary, then your base, the next increments will also go down. So ensure that you're negotiating a good salary and when you're getting in itself. And ensure that you have some good professional development and get into companies that have got a good learning curve. That's very important, because it's not just getting into a job. You need to keep learning and you need to keep growing. There are a lot of companies which have got, so with post COVID, there are most of the companies are giving flexible work arrangements. Do ask, so interviews are normally 3 rounds or 4 rounds of interview. The first round and the second round normally, so the first will be where your HR is just going to ask you basic questions. Then there are going to be 1 or 2 technical rounds where your interviewer, and the people whom you're going to do those technical interviews are mostly the people whom you're going to be working with. Most of them. There are going to be cases where you're not going to be directly working with them, but most often one of the rounds is going to be, or possibly the last technical round is going to be the manager or your super boss or somebody whom you're going to be working with. Do ask them what are the work arrangements. Understand how it is. Traveling is important. Will you go? How many days you can work from home? Is it most of the IT companies, most of the, not only IT companies, non-IT companies also offer you work from home options. Do explore those options. Is there telecommuting, job sharing? What are the schedules that are? What are the timings that you need to work? Please be open in asking all of these questions, because what happens is that there's no point in getting into a job, once you get into a job and then you being unhappy about it. And it's always important when you ask us questions, and sometimes things don't work out, and that's okay. You will get another job where things will work out. So don't just go with the first job that you're getting and you say that, okay, I'm getting this job, I'm happy. You will get plenty of jobs, but then ensure that you're happy with what kind of job you're getting, and then get it. Then again, as I say, negotiating your salary is very important. The benefits is something that you need to understand, and there are multiple webinars that you can attend, multiple YouTube videos that you can get. Please understand how it says, what are your salary, and do negotiate. It's very, very critical when you're getting into a job. And the professional education is basically and you need to see what there are a lot of whether if you're getting into project management, there is called a PMP certification, and there's a continuing education points that you get with. So there are multiple certifications and education that you can do, but you need to be applying for these courses. You need to apply for these courses, and you need to say that you're investing in yourself from a professional development. And it's very important that you invest in yourself in terms of professional development. And most of the companies, once you go to them, they do have they will offer you certification reimbursements also. So that is also possible. So once, if you're planning to do a little expensive certification, companies reimburse that. So you can find out those factors also. So those are all the points from a professional front. Now, what about the work-life balance, and why the personal life is important? Now, it's very important when you're getting into work. You've been at home, and you're not going, and your chunk of your day is going to go in work. How do you balance that work life? How do you ensure that there is you have some time for yourself, you have some time for your children, you have some time for your family, you have some time and a huge amount of time for your work. That balance is absolutely essential. And there are some things that you need to you need to keep going. The first part is self-confidence. It's very important that you have self-confidence. Self-care is very important. Overcoming bias. There are going to be a lot of bias. You need to break the bias. Setting boundaries and prioritizing your tasks. Now, I want to give an example, before I even go into it, is Falguni Nair. She's the founder and CEO of Nykaa. I'm sure every one of you have heard of Nykaa. You'll have bought products from Nykaa. So when she was a normal, professional going to a company working on a day-to-day basis, when she got this idea and she, built this, she is an entrepreneur, she's built Nykaa. Now, what I was going through, some articles that she had written, and this is something that struck me, and which I thought, you'll correct. When Falguni, when she started working, one of the days she's quoting this is where, one of the days there were some guests coming, and her kids were very young. There were some guests coming for home for dinner, and she was going to start preparing dinner and getting the house ready for the guests and everything. When suddenly she had to go to Ahmedabad for work. Now, what is it that, in our Indian society, in an Indian family, you have to ensure that you have to stay. The work can be done tomorrow, but guests are important. The family is important. The house is important. Please focus on that. That's going to happen. But then her husband said, "No, your work is important. You go. We will work it. Figure it out." And you'll have one person in the family who will support you in doing this. Okay, it could be your husband, it could be a mother-in-law, it could be a father-in-law, it could be your children. Find that support person, that support anchor who can support you in this. And she did go. Okay, and even she was, because she was working, she had to put a house help, she had to put somebody to cook, she had to put somebody to clean the house. And her mother-in-law, who has a homemaker, did not appreciate that. Why do you want to keep somebody? Why can't you do it? Even I, there are plenty of women who work, but why can't you manage the house? You're going to get all of these questions. But it's important to understand that if you're working, you may need house help. You can decide how you get house help. It's okay to give importance to yourself. And sometimes you really need to give importance to yourself, to your health, to your well-being, and that gives you encouragement, and and gives you more focus in doing a lot of things. Another example is Rani Mukherjee. I'm sure all of you know her. So when she had a baby, she was at the peak of her career. When she got married, she had a daughter, and she left her career for quite some amount of time because she was not ready to leave her daughter. Now, when she was going to go, she was very scared. What will happen? My daughter is so young. She's so used to seeing me every day. Now I have to go to work. I may not come in the night. I may come late. She may go to sleep without me. Will she eat food properly? Will she survive? She will survive. All children survive. They will survive, and they will go much more stronger because they can see that you are independent, you are happy, you are flourishing, and that gives a confidence to your children that they can also flourish and they can also grow. So what is very important is your mental and physical health. It's very important that you give time to yourself. As a career woman, time is a very big problem. Even if you're getting up a little early, spend half an hour in doing some meditation, half an hour doing yoga. If you have time, go to gym. Your children are too small, you'll take time. Just stand at your place. There are so many workout videos on the on the television, on the YouTube, that you can just do a half an hour workout. Believe me, it helps you completely, because that half an hour that you're giving to yourself from your mental and physical health is going to carry you through the day. And that's very important. So give that half an hour, 1 hour to yourself. Even a 15 minutes meditation will give you a lot of peace of mind. Give focus to your physical health, getting your health checkup every year, ensuring your health is important, because ultimately for doing all of these things, you need to be healthy. And if you're healthy, you can do any of these things. Okay. And the other aspect is, if you are healthy, the entire family becomes healthy. So that's what it's normally said. So it's very important to have a healthy diet and plenty of sleep. I know it's not practical. There are a lot of things. A lot many days you'll only sleep for 4 hours. Okay, that's going to happen. But then at least keep it in your mind that I need to sleep more. I need to eat well. I need to look after myself. So that keeping that mantra in your mind, that helps you a lot. And there are two main things that I'm going to give you at the end of this session is learn to say no. It's very, 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 very important. What happens as women is when, and I'm going to give you an example is, I and my husband both work from home. The 3 days I'm working from home, and I had to go to office. My husband is working from, so I'm in one room. My husband is in another room. I have my in-laws with me, so they look after the children. So I'm very blessed in that way. But then, there is some problem. The children fight or something or the other. The children will knock. They'll not knock the father's door. They'll knock the mother's door. And the mother's intuition is such that you can't say no. You will get up. You'll open the door. You open the door means, then 1 hour the children will be coming. They'll have this problem, that problem. Your meeting is there. Your work is there. You have to do this. You can't say a no. And that's very important, because when you learn to say a no, the children know where to set the boundaries. Your family knows where to set your boundaries. Your husband, your family, everybody. Professionally, you have a lot of work to do. Your boss will come back, say this has to be finished today, you can't leave home before you finish this, but you know you have a family at home and you can't do it. You need to learn to say no. Say that no, I cannot do it today, I will come back tomorrow and I'll finish it. I'll come back early tomorrow and finish it, but today I have to go home. Learn to say no. And the more you practice to do it, the more your life will become sorted. The second thing a very important thing that you need to learn is delegation. Okay, the day is ended, you've come back from work, your husband has come back from work, you have, the house is a mess. Delegate. You say that I will look after the dinner, your husband will clean the vessels, your children will clean the table. Everyone comes together, cleans the house, you go to bed. Okay, office, you have a team working with you, there is 10 activities to be done. Delegate. You will do some activity, some other. Delegation is very important. The moment you start delegating work and the moment you spread out that work, you will have time to think more. You'll be able to think outside the box. You'll be able to think more creatively, and you will be at peace of mind. So saying no and delegation, very, very critical messages that every woman has to, learn and imbibe in themselves as they go. So this was just a very some points that I have just kept in. So I think any one of you can join back, go to work. It's lovely working. I have been working quite a bit of amount of time, and I love working. It gives me a lot of self satisfaction. All you need is the right preparation, a right mindset, and it was going to be a rewarding experience. So all the best to all of you as you're joining back to work, and I'm sure y'all are going to do a wonderful job.